Hello, my name is Candace Floyd, and I am here today to talk about WIC and motivation. Most of you know me because I work here with everybody here at Wheaton WIC. We're a part of CCI, our community clinic here in Maryland, Wheaton, Maryland. So today, as the title says, WIC, and we're going to talk about WIC and motivation. WIC meaning women, infants, children. Um, Maternal health program. But we're going to talk about motivation and how we can help make WIC better for us as a staff, but also making WIC better for the participants. So the mission of WIC, women, infants, children, obviously it says it in the name, but to assist eligible infants and children to achieve improved nutrition and health status by providing nutrition education, selected supplemental foods, and health referrals in caring and supportive environment, which is what we do every day. I think we do a great job. However, I'm sure we could do better. So these images, again, we're part of Maryland WIC. And then with our staff, we're here to support. As you can see, we've got babies, we weigh them, we make sure the kids are growing, we take care of expectant mothers, and we support breastfeeding moms. Like I said, make sure the babies are growing well, kids. And that's with so much more. And then our staff is, who takes care of everything. So we as staff take care of all these people um, to make sure that they are taken care of within WIC. All right. So next, the WIC team. So CCI is the team, or our company is CCI. That's our agency. Our local office or clinic is in Wheaton, Maryland. It consists of 14 women. We got one manager who is a registered dietitian, 3 nutritionists or CPAs. You may hear me say CPAs, and 5 nutrition assistants or CPPAs. And again, sorry, CPA stands for Competent Professional Authority, and Competent Professional Para Authority for the CPPA. We have a breastfeeding manager who oversees the breastfeeding peer counselors. We have 2 of those, and we have 2 support persons, one CSA that answers the phone, and also somebody that is kind of like takes care of our classes and makes sure everything's running fine. So again, that's the team: 14 women, 1 manager, 3 nutritionists, 5 nutrition assistants, 1 breastfeeding manager, 2 breastfeeding peer counselors, and 2 support people. And we are in our agency with the largest office. We see about 10,000 people. We see about 10,000 participants a month to get them recertified and get them, get them added to the program or get them reassigned to the program. So we're, like I said, we are the largest in our agency. So who needs motivation at WIC? Our moms or HOH or head of household. That could be a dad. It does not have to be a mom. We want to help them as WIC. We help them dealing with the children with low hemoglobin, underweight. We get premature babies. They may be dealing with GERD, allergies, any kind of condition that we can help nutrition-wise. Not necessarily a lot of medical things. Those are going to be for the doctor, but whatever we can help them with that are regarding nutrition, that's what we do. Then next we have postpartum women, and we just want to make sure that they are staying healthy after they've had the baby, make sure their iron is good, but also they may be having breastfeeding complications. Breastfeeding is very difficult. I myself um, am a WIC participant. My daughter is actually 18 now, about to be 19, but WIC actually helped me while I was on WIC with latch and soreness. So I understand. I understand what the women I talk to are going through. So, like I said, helping postpartum women with the breastfeeding complications, letting them know that they make enough milk, or letting them know what they're maybe doing wrong, or and also doing right. But and also soreness, that's the big one that may keep people from breastfeeding. So again, support and motivation for those moms. Um, and staff, we have our own goals and things. So we are motivated to reach 97% participation. And so, but we usually reach that goal and knock it out the water. We usually at about 102% over what we're supposed to do. But again, there's always more that we can do to improve. There's always more places that we can improve. Um, we are motivated to give good customer service and promote breastfeeding. That's everybody's job, is to promote breastfeeding. We want healthy kids. Everybody, whether a mom breastfeeds or not, we want to be there for them. So again, we want to be there for the moms, caring for the children, be there for the moms, care for themselves. And then also our staff needs motivation to help everybody. Okay, so how do we motivate, or what's a way that we can improve? There is a theory called the self-determination theory. This theory helps to explain behavior and motivation based in individual differences and the source of motivation, contextual influences, and interpersonal perceptions. I said all that to say, basically, everybody's different, but we are motivated by different things depending on what it is. Because we're all human, we're all different, and we all have different motivations, different passions. So the self-determination theory um, basically um, it's complex, but it's in a roundabout way. It sums it up. It sums it up, our differences, and again, what motivates us to do what we do and why we do what we do. So again, self-determination theory is complex. It is actually a three-part theory. We have a cognitive evaluation theory, we have an organismic integration theory, and we have a basic needs theory. And all those theories or concepts come together to create the self-determination theory. So first, I'm going to start with the cognitive evaluation theory and how that looks in the clinic. So that it was created from study of intrinsic motivation and the effects of rewards So a question that I would like to ask is, will gifts or prizes impede self-determination? And is there undermining effect? Because when you at WIC, we give formula, we give food, we do breastfeeding classes. WIC gives out a lot. But sometimes somebody may just be there for the formula, for the food, and not necessarily care about the actual services or the nutrition of their child or themselves. So the cognitive evaluation theory, the first level or the first portion of the theory we're going to talk about is deals with a motivation, intrinsic motivation, excuse me, a motivation, extrinsic motivation, and intrinsic motivation. Um, a motivation, just like I said, without intention, just kind of like whatever. And extrinsic, motivated with the outcome in mind, or you're motivated to do something by things outside of yourself. Again, extrinsic, or even like an extrovert. I'm an extrovert, so I get energy from the world around me. So I like being in crowds. I like people. And then intrinsic motivation is motivated by inherent satisfaction or something internal. Again, if you're an introvert, you need to be alone to rejuvenate. So it's very internal, very very internal, very just within. Everything comes from within there. So again, that first part is cognitive evaluation theory, a motivation, intrinsic motivation, extrinsic motivation, and intrinsic motivation. And I brought up the undermining effect. And the undermining effect is, so WIC does give away formula and baby foods, formula, baby foods, juice, cheese is just some of the basic things that they give. And so what some people, what we've noticed, and I'm actually guilty of it myself. Like the formula. Formula is very expensive. It can range from um, $12 to $15 up to $40 or $50, depending on what type of formula it is. So a lot of times, some people just come to WIC just for the formula. Like they come when they're pregnant, or they just come with the baby, not realizing that the child can actually be on WIC till age 5. But after they're 1, they've got the formula, they're good to go. So we want to, like, is that formula that they're giving away, is that undermining the effects or the effectiveness of WIC? Because they just want to come and get the formula and go, or come and get the benefits and go. So undermining effect, the process of attaining extrinsic goals can cause lack of basic needs satisfaction. And I'll talk about basic needs, those basic needs, which is part of that social needs theory, or basic needs theory. Those basic needs are required to facilitate autonomous motivation or self-motivation. Then it could halt amotivation and controlled motivation. So that basically means if we are getting all of those basic needs, then we'll be more motivated. It won't be, okay, so here we go. So aid motivation is lack of motivation, and controlled motivation is very intrinsic. So that's going to be on the realm of, I'm just kind of doing it to get the formula. But what we want to do is push people, or push our participants and push ourselves towards individual or more intrinsic motivation. You know, where it doesn't matter if I get cheese, or it doesn't matter if I'm getting formula, or it doesn't matter. I want to be a part of the WIC program, you know, just to better myself, because I like it, and because I like everybody, and I like what it stands for. So we want to take that, again, are the benefits and the services undermining the mission of WIC? So again, then our next concept is, or theory, or meta, the next third theory is organismic integration theory. Took me a minute. I was totally practicing saying that. So if I mess up, sorry. But organismic integration theory. And that talks about the 6 regulatory styles. So we talked about amotivation, intrinsic motivation, and extrinsic motivation and intrinsic motivation. So they're kind of a motivation is not motivated, and then intrinsic motivation is like, I love doing it. I get joy out of it. So a motivation is non-regulation. That is the regulatory style that falls under a motivation. It's just not really regulated. It's just, it is what it is. And now we have external regulation and introjected regulation. And those are actually, I brought up a word, controlled autonomy. So these are very intrinsic. External regulation is going to be, I get paid. I come to McDonald's every day because I get paid to come here and work. Not because I really want to be here, it's because they pay me. Introjected regulation is I'm doing something to bring me status. So again, it's something not necessarily frivolous, but it doesn't always have to be frivolous, but it's not. One is for monetary, one is for kind of a feeling. And then we have identified regulation, which again, we're getting closer to intrinsic motivation. And that one's somewhat internal. So we're getting a little more internal, getting closer to the intrinsic motivation. And this is how you would, let's see, I identify with this. For instance, actually, I'm gonna discuss a little bit more when I put myself in there. So I identify with this reason for doing what I'm doing. And then the fourth portion of extrinsic is integrated regulation, which is very close to intrinsic. It's very internal, but it's still something from outside of you that's working on you. And then next we have intrinsic regulation. So again, internal is regulated internally, fully internally. So we got, again, starting with a motivation, extrinsic motivation, and intrinsic motivation. And these are the 6 regulatory styles that that fall under that: non-regulation, external motivation, introjected regulation, identified regulation, integrated regulation, and intrinsic regulation. And again, I'm going to go over those in a little bit more using myself as an example. So again, a motivation, impersonal, without intention. External regulation is external. External demands, gifts, penalties, again, being paid to go to work. Introjected regulation, somewhat external, like compliments, or I'm doing it because I don't want to be shamed, or I'm doing it for the likes. Instagram. Identified regulation, somewhat external, respected, objective. So there's something that I can benefit from that is not selfish, that's motivating me to do this. And then we have the integrated regulation, internal value within. Again, very internal, but there's it's very close to, a lot closer to intrinsic. It's just getting more internal. So as you can see, nothing, no kind of motivation, blah, 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 and then very external, and then getting more internal. So I would say internal or passion. All right. So here we go. We're going back to A, motivation. So as you can see, if you look at this lady's face, she's just here. Non-regulation, no intention, impersonal, lack of volition, going through the motions. So for WIC, we would maybe an uninterested parent. It's not, stereotypically it's the dad, maybe just somebody there texting on the phone. You're telling them about, this, how to feed the child or whatever. A lot of times, sometimes the dads just stay in the sometimes the dads just stay in the they stay in the lobby, and just wait and look on their phone. So an uninterested parent, not really motivated, just there. They were the ride. And so then here we go again, extrinsic motivation, externally stimulated. So for me, And again, those are those words that I brought up: control motivation and autonomous motivation. So as you can see, it's kind of a spectrum. Intrinsic motivation has a spectrum to it. So external regulation, external demands, rewards, pointers, and that particular WIC participant only wants help with formula, or just, whatever the things that they value the most about WIC. Okay, give me my formula and that's it. And a lot of times we don't hear from them after a year, or they're like, oh, I just thought y'all did formula. No, we do this, we do that. Oh, okay. Um, but kids are eligible to age 5, but we have to let them know that that's something we need to be motivated to do. Um, and then this is me at work, you know, um, knocking around, because obviously, I do love my job, but I would rather maybe be on the beach somewhere. So it's good that they pay me. But I do like the job, but it does help that that I'm paid. Um, Interjected regulation. Um, I like to say that somewhat external: compulsion, self-esteem, guilt. For me, this picture represents self-esteem, because I do like to dress nice sometimes. I like compliments, um, as we all do. I do like compliments. So I mean, I like to look nice for myself. I don't want to look a mess. I got my hat on, I got my Coach bag. I think I'm styling. Um, so that's it's like a self-esteem aspect to me. I am motivated I am motivated to dress nice. And then for our WIC participants, maybe someone is just breastfeeding to satisfy their family. Maybe they're not really into it. Um, People do things just for others, or maybe somebody wanted to breastfeed and they're just bottle feeding to satisfy the doctor, or to satisfy mom, or somebody's made them not feel like they make enough milk. So that can go either way. And again, these two are controlled. So if you think like, I'm controlled, this person is controlled by punishments, payments, or controlled by self-esteem or guilt. It's controlled. So it's still very outward or external. So identified regulation, somewhat internal. Um, so we're going more in. Um, for me, I have something called Crohn's disease. So it is very helpful for me to eat healthy. Although I do love sweets, I am motivated to eat healthy to keep that under control. That makes sense. That's a valuable thing to do. Exercising. I exercise to de-stress, to keep myself healthy. Um, or like our WIC participant, eat iron-rich WIC foods to increase their hemoglobin levels. We check their hemoglobin levels to make sure that they're on target. And so we tell them what to do, and hopefully they don't want to have low iron and end up with anemia. So they eat their iron-rich foods or take their vitamins. And then next we have integrated regulation, which is again internal. It's like internally valued. What do you say? Fully assimilated into the self. Me, I love dance. I'm a belly dancer, um, but I love to do it. It's not my biggest passion, but I do love doing it. I consider myself a dancer. Or like a mom, a WIC mom, say I'm a breastfeeding mother. I breastfed for 11 months. So um, I do consider myself, I am integrated. I am, I'm definitely motivated to become a breastfeeding mom. But like when I was younger, it may have been here, like breastfeeding for me. I breastfed to kind of, because I felt like, it was a good thing to do, it's healthy. Um, it's just, it's just going to be a good thing. It's going to be great. But then it came along here. I was like, oh, I actually started to love it. I valued how I felt. It made me feel good. My daughter was healthy. And then, I ended up down here autonomous. Like if I was to ever have another child, I would do it automatically, because it's the best thing to do. So again, as you can see, extrinsic motivation, from You got these two that are under controlled and these autonomous. Controlled meaning it's a little more, again, there's things controlling you, payments or likes, or is kind of what's in control of you doing what it is. And then autonomous, or with the self, it's a little more internal. It's got more to do with you as a person. The next, the last one is intrinsic motivation or internal. It's intrinsically regulated, internal passion, enjoyment, no payment required. For me, I love to bake. This is my baking outfit my grandma got me. She supports me with the baking. She's a great baker too. So I learned it from her, but it definitely became a passion. I I will just bake. I love to make sweet potato muffins, and I bring them, and I like to feed people. Sometimes they go bad. I make way too much, but ultimately, it's it's just what I love to do. And then regarding the WIC, people are my passion, and nutrition is my passion. So sometimes I talk too much. Sometimes I get a little uh, uh, I get long-winded when I start talking about nutrition or things about gardening or anything, and I can get off subject. So people, nutrition, passion, um, I just go into it. And I try to, I try to keep my appointments under a certain amount of time. But if I'm really into it, I'm just excited and I'm doing it. So again, extrinsic, intrinsic, excuse me, motivation, internal, passion, enjoyment, no payment required. You just do it for the love of it. All right. So then that third part is the basic needs theory, or sometimes you may see it as the psychosocial needs theory. It's a lot of things. So basically, for a human to have for well-being as a human, you require three things: relatedness, competence, and autonomy. Um, so relatedness, want to be a part of a group. Even if you're an introvert, you want to be, maybe you want to be a part of an online community. You want to relate to people, even if it's your family. You want to get along with those people. And when you usually don't hang around with them. Competence. We want to feel like I can do it. Um, we want to feel like I can do it. I'm capable of doing this. And autonomy is I have the choice to do it, or I have the choice to do it how I want to do it. So all of these three things are the basic needs and kind of help us be happy when doing things or when deciding things or when motivated to do things. So, so again, like I said, relatedness. We want to be a part of something. We want to belong. We want to feel connection. So as a person, as in the WIC office, um, let's see, if I'm a manager, or let's say in the WIC office, if I'm working there, let's just take myself. I go back to myself. I do like to feel like I belong. I don't want to. I want to, get along with my coworkers. I want to feel a connection with my coworkers. I want to make jokes and enjoy being at work. Um, and what can hurt the relatedness or hurt someone feeling the relatedness is excessive competitiveness or clicks. So if you're an outsider at work or anything like that, you don't want to be there. And maybe for our participants, they want to feel like they belong. They want to feel like they have a connection with you, even if it is 15, 20 minutes. They want to feel like you care. They want to feel like, hey, I'm not just a low income parent. This person cares, or this person at least. I got a quick connection with them. And so that's relatedness. And the next one again is competence. So everybody wants to feel like they can do it. So again, when I'm working, I love challenges. I do like challenges. You don't want a job that's too easy. You don't want a job that's too hard. So if you feel like you can do something, you want moderate, maybe even a little more than moderate challenges, but something that makes you feel like you matter, and then you want your boss to praise you, and say that with our participants. Um, they need praise. Sometimes some moms, you can tell they're struggling a little bit, but if you say, hey, you're doing a great job, the child is uh, at this certain weight, she's doing awesome, or, you know, you're doing a great job. They may tell you about something that's been going on with them, and you're doing a great job, keep it up. And that makes them feel confident at being a good mom. Um, and so unattainable goals are going to hurt that confidence portion. So if I get goals, I need for you to, like I said, our goal is 97%, and if our director says, oh well, I need 150%, that's just like, that's attainable. That's I mean, it may be attainable, but that's a lot. That's a lot. There's a lot to put on. That's a lot to put on us, without giving us the tools. So, or if we don't do that, unconstructive criticism, um, things that just aren't helping. So people want to feel confident, they want to feel smart, and they want to feel like they make a difference. And then the third is autonomy. Um, we all want to feel like we're in control, even though we're at work. We want to have a little bit of autonomy, a little bit of freedom, a little bit of independence. Um, I feel like my office, we all have autonomy. Our boss is rarely a micromanager unless she just needs something done. Hey, can you do this right now? Or I'll do it. But ultimately, she leaves it up to us to get it taken care of. Um, and that's autonomy, because no one wants someone standing over them. No one, I need this done in 2 minutes, or ultimatums and things like that. So independence, freedom, and the autonomy to be yourself. Definitely to be yourself. So relatedness, confidence, autonomy is what helps to keep us happy, and is like the three things you need for wellness. All right, so I like to talk about the chain of motivation. So here are our babies. These are some of the WIC babies we see every day. Um, they're our reason. These are our reason. Obviously, mom and toddlers and others, but the babies are great. So if I'm a manager, so let's start with the manager, because the managers, a lot of times people don't realize they set a tone for the whole department. So if we have a manager, and also, so then next in our department, we have nutritionists, nutrition assistants, breastfeeding peer counselors. We do a lot more things directly with the patients, with the participants, teach them nutrition, weigh the babies, help them breastfeeding, hands-on latch. And then the support group, just somebody that answers the phone or make sure that everything's running smoothly in the office. We need all this. We need all these. We need everybody. So going back to the manager, a manager, to keep everybody motivated and keep the relatedness and autonomy and confidence going, we need a manager that promotes a team atmosphere, no partiality, setting realistic goals for us, giving good information, no micromanaging, empathetic and understanding to what we've got going on, or what all of her or his staff have got going on, and unexpected rewards. I saw this in it talks about when people expect things, again, like, are we undermining the program by, because some people only come for the formula. So if the boss is like, well, you get a pizza party if you do this. Um, Unexpected rewards is, you did this, you guys did great, so I'm going to do this. You're keeping them motivated. They're not, the motivation is to do a good job. And then, oh, you know what? The side piece is this unexpected reward of lunch or cake or something like that. So when you got our nutrition assistants, we want all of us, the nutritionists, the nutrition assistants, and the breastfeeding peer counselors, show respect, create rapport. Again, praise. Definitely got to praise people, make attainable goals in form of services, freedom, not obligation. So that's that competency, autonomy, and relatedness. And then the support. Support people, the person like that answers the phone, that's the first person that a lot of people may talk to, and the first person that they're gonna interact with when coming in contact with the program. So that person needs to be, caring. Hey, I'm a 18-year-old mom and I'm pregnant, and so you don't want to be, oh, 18. Ooh, oh no, you want to be caring. It's like, well, let's get you signed up. Well, welcome. You want to make somebody not feel like a charity case, because we are here to help. We're not here to make them um, feel less than. So that the support people are going to make the application process easy. They're going to give them choices. They're going to let them know, what to expect. So they're setting the stage for the program. They're a lot of times they're the face or the voice of the program, especially if they're answering the phone, and something like that. So again, I just call it a chain of motivation. The manager, the nutritionist, the support, we all work together to have to run a successful WIC office. All right. So and how do we keep the motivation going, or how do we maintain? Because I think overall we're pretty motivated. We do really good, but it could be better. So what I say, motivation through an exercise of empathy and role play. So these are my little actors and actresses. Sometimes you gotta step outside of yourself and be empathetic and understand what each other's going through. So what I would recommend doing is WIC clinic random role play. So the setting is the WIC clinic. The roles, and again, this is a role play. This will be something that we do. A lot of times we have half-day meetings, or we'll do some kind of bonding, or just, we have these meetings quarterly. We talk about things and we do activities, but this will be a good activity to do to promote a connectedness within the team. So our setting is the WIC clinic, and the roles, maybe we have 2 managers, 2 nutritionists, 2 support people, 2 breastfeeding peer counselors, and 7 participants. And what would happen is we have, like me, I'm a nutritionist, so maybe I'm the manager for one time, and maybe I'm a breastfeeding peer counselor, but we kind of move around and we do each other's roles, and everybody gets to be a participant. Sometimes you get to be difficult participants. Those are the ones that really test you, but it's up to us to be patient. So my thing is, if we all understand what each other's going through, that makes empathy, that is going to make us better as a whole to make a better team that's going to be able to serve our clients and participants better. So again, 7 different participant scenarios, like people lose their card, special formulas. I'm a nutritionist, and managers or RDs can do the special formulas. And sometimes that can be taxing. So if I show the nutrition, support people what I go through with doing formulas, maybe they'll understand, oh, okay, this is what you have to go through. You got to call a doctor. You got to, oh, it's filled out wrong. That can be stressful. So, let me make sure I tell the mom, all that she needs from the doctor, or let me make sure I let the mom know what really needs to happen. Again, as a mom, maybe this appointment, um, maybe I'm a support person. I'm normally on the phone, but I do the role of a, a nutritionist as a mom, a baby, 11-month-old, and a 3-year-old, all in the office, trying to do a maybe a 45-minute appointment. That's you got to understand what's happening. Um, Breastfeeding, adequate milk supply. These are a lot of the things that can come across your desk. Um, New to WIC, pregnant, we got a 2-year-old. There's so many scenarios where we want to motivate, where we can motivate our clients. 20 calls in the queue. Hey, the support staff that normally answers the phone. Maybe I'm like, oh, she only answers the phone, but that's okay. Everybody's job is important. We can't, the manager can't do everything. Um, we're all here to play our parts, and that's what this random role play is supposed to help with. So again, we got role play, and what the role play do, understanding workload. So I understand your workload, you understand my workload, and that's going to increase the departmental empathy and relatedness, um, and organizational awareness. Again, just understanding what it takes to run this office so that we can uh, be the best for our clients. And that's going to make us be a client-centered staff, or client-centered organization. Autonomous motivation, actually, um, so we got, it's going to make us be a client-centered staff, service-based, service and support based on care, empathy for our participants. And this empathy is going to make us be more internal with our motivation, or autonomous, uh, so that we get closer to intrinsic motivation. We keep it internal. We may not be all the way in intrinsic. WIC may not be everybody's passion. We don't know more really. Oh, I want to work for WIC because it's my passion. It may be someone's passion, but we want to keep it along the lines of autonomous motivation, the internal end of extrinsic motivation, and closest to intrinsic motivation as possible, so that we can help our clients the best way we know how. So in conclusion, um, this self-determination theory is a key to a more connected WIC unit, and also lead to a more client-centered agency. Um, you really just want to, you know, make sure you're understanding, make sure you have empathy. And I think a lot of these things we already do, but we just need to tweak it. So this activity, this role play, is going to help us um, tweak, tweak our tweak our connections, tweak our business, and help us take it to the next level. And this quote, excellence is never an accident. It is a result of high intention, sincere effort, intelligence, direction, skillful execution, and the vision to see obstacles as opportunities. So to me, this just sums up the whole, you know, what you need to be successful. It's not just being smart. It's not just doing things right. It's so much more. And that's what the self-determination theory encompasses. Self-determination, or excellent. We are self-determined to be excellent. All right, thank you, and have a good evening.